Coming up on NewsHour in the next 30 minutes in business, how climate change is slowing down transatlantic aircraft and making their journeys more expensive. Also, Tim Franks in Ethiopia. He's hearing why so many people are trying to get out of neighbouring Eritrea. And why was an Italian academic murdered in Egypt, apparently after being tortured? We'll talk to one of his friends. That's all after the news. Coming up next on NewsHour, the latest in our series of special reports from Ethiopia. Tim Franks has been talking to Eritrean refugees to find out why so many people are fleeing. First, though, our daily look at the world of business and to some potentially bad news for the aviation industry. A study by scientists at Reading University here in the UK suggests that journey times on at least one very popular transatlantic round trip are getting longer, meaning higher fuel costs for a business that runs on famously small margins. It's also bad news for the environment, even though it seems the reason for these longer journeys is linked to climate change. Well, Dr. Paul Williams is the lead author of this research, published in the journal Environmental Research Letters. He's an atmospheric scientist at Reading University. So, what is causing planes to take longer on this transatlantic round trip?
We've got very good reasons now to believe that the jet stream winds are getting stronger because of climate change. So we've calculated 15% stronger on that iconic flight route between London and New York. And that is speeding up eastbound flights by 5 minutes on average, but it's slowing down westbound flights by 7 minutes on average. And there's an important difference there. It does mean that the round trip journey time is getting 2 minutes longer. Those figures are for autumn. And there's a good kind of mathematical reason why it comes out like that.
Yes, it doesn't really sort of make sense. You'd assume that it would just be the same amount each way and therefore would cancel each other out.
And that's what happens to a first approximation, that's what happens. But there's a little residual left over, and that's simply an effect of when a plane is moving slowly. By definition, it's spending more time in the regions of the atmosphere where it's moving slowly, and that further acts to reduce its average speed. So there's a little kind of a feedback that takes place there. But that 2 minute difference, we believe, is very robust and it's real, and there's good reason to think that it is actually a difference that we will see.
And that means 2 minutes of obviously extra fuel for the airlines operating on that route. Why exactly and I'm assuming it is greenhouse gases, why do they speed up the jet stream? Why is that getting faster?
Well, meteorologists understand very well what drives the jet stream. It's all got to do with the temperature difference between the very warm tropical regions of the planet and the very cold polar regions. That temperature difference at flight levels and, in fact, throughout the atmosphere is what drives the jet stream, and we know that that temperature difference is increasing, and we understand why, and there are satellite observations to back that up. So as the temperature difference is increasing, it's driving a stronger jet stream, as I say, up by 15% in this study we found.
Yeah, and I guess there is some sort of vicious circle going on, which, in other words, that, you know, if the journey time is 2 minutes longer, as I mentioned, extra fuel, that means more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, which obviously contributes to the general climate change, we think.
Yes, there's a feedback there, and as you say, we've known for a long time that aviation contributes significantly to climate change, but now we're finding that climate change is going to have consequences for aviation, and it's not just longer journey times, but, for example, increased turbulence as well, in-flight turbulence strengthening because those jet stream winds are becoming less stable as the amount of CO2 goes up.
And that was Dr. Paul Williams. He's an atmospheric scientist at Reading University and the lead author of that research into why transatlantic round trips by aircraft are taking a little bit longer.